So today is March 31st, 2020. And I'm recording this video because within the next couple of weeks, we will begin trying to conceive baby number 2. For those who don't know and may just be I guess tuning into or getting to know us, I'm Jessica and I am happily married
and I'm Derek.
This guy here, and we have been together for the past 9 years, and we have been married for it'll be 5 on May the 16th. And our journey to conceive children has been a little rocky. Back in 2013, we conceived a child, and unfortunately, I had a miscarriage. Approximately 6 weeks later, we went to the doctor, found out that baby had no heartbeat. I ended up having to have a DNC, and it was probably one of the most heartbreaking things that we've ever experienced as a couple and individually. Nothing prepares you for the loss of a child. We got engaged in 2014. We got married in 2015. Approximately 4 to 5 weeks after we said I do, we found out that I was pregnant again with baby number 2. Unfortunately, that also ended in a ectopic pregnancy. So basically, I had a positive pregnancy test, and then about a week later, I started feeling these pains pretty bad, and had a little bit of spotting. Went to the doctor. They said, well, you're still very early, so it's perfectly normal that we cannot see the baby, and to just come back in a few weeks. So I came back, and they still weren't able to see it. They weren't able to see the sac or anything like that. So the doctor then proceeded to tell me that that's okay, that you're still very early, but we just kind of want to keep an eye on it. If it is ectopic, which means that the baby implanted anywhere except my uterus, which means that the baby could have been in my tube or somewhere else, of course they wouldn't be able to survive. So in order to make a long story short, the doctor told me what symptoms I would begin to have, and she sent me to the lab in order to get lab work. As I'm in the lab getting the lab work, I start to feel those symptoms, which is essentially very, very sharp pains in your abdomen and in your back. Went to the emergency room, started bleeding profusely, found out that the baby, it was ectopic pregnancy. The baby had actually implanted into my tube, my right tube, and the tube ruptured. And so I had to have emergency surgery in order to basically save my life, because I had internal bleeding and the tube itself had to be removed. And that, as you can imagine, was even more devastating, because you find the first time you have a miscarriage, people always tell you, oh, it won't happen again, it will not happen again, you know, the next baby will be fine. And we were trying to figure out how this could be our lives once again. We continued to try and conceive, and nothing happened for the next almost 2 years. Well, in December of 2017, I found out that I was pregnant once again. This is my 3rd pregnancy, for those of you who are keeping up. And with the 3rd pregnancy, I was, as you can imagine, completely terrified of something happening. And what actually ended up happening in that case is I went to the doctor. Everything looks great, Mrs. Williams. We will check back with you in a few weeks. Let us know if anything happens or if you feel some kind of way. The doctor wanted to monitor me closely, because once you have an ectopic pregnancy, you have more of a chance of having another ectopic pregnancy. So everything was going fine, and then I started to spot, and I was terrified. So I went to the emergency room and they did an ultrasound. It was too early to see baby's heartbeat, but basically what the doctor said was I had what's called a subchorionic hemorrhage. And what that means is that there is blood inside of the uterus along with the baby. They were able to see the sac, which lets me, they were able to see the sac in my uterus, which is amazing because that means that it was not another ectopic pregnancy. But what also ended up happening is next to the sac, there was also a sac of blood. The sac of blood in my ultrasound was just about as big as the sac that the baby was in. And so basically the doctor told me is that I had a 50-50 chance of miscarrying. And to basically go on complete bed rest. Don't do anything, only go to the restroom, no walking around, no doing anything. And this was approximately a week before Christmas. And I missed all of the holidays. My birthday was 2 days before Christmas. Didn't celebrate my birthday, didn't do anything. I completely was on bed rest. Though I was only about 6 weeks into my pregnancy, I felt like we needed all the prayers in the world. And so we went ahead and we announced that we were finally pregnant again. The love and the response from our friends and family was so amazing. It was probably the biggest, let's just say that those prayers helped us get through those 2 weeks that I was on bed rest. And we just kind of prayed and thanked God in advance for whatever he was going to do. Well, on January 2nd, 2018, we went to the doctor and we looked at the monitor, and the words that we had been waiting to hear for the last probably 5 years. Sorry, I get a little choked up every time I talk about this. Looked at the monitor and the doctor said, well, I see the sac, here's the hemorrhage. It looks like it's getting smaller compared to your last ultrasound. And she turned up a little volume and she said, and here's your baby's heartbeat. Five years, 2 pregnancies, we never got to hear a baby's heartbeat, ever. Oh, I wasn't gonna do this. Anyway, able to hear a heartbeat, it was strong. And she was there and we saw a little moving, hands and wiggling, and it was probably, well, no, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. It was so amazing. Make a longer story short, we welcomed a beautiful and healthy baby girl on August the 14th, 2018 at 1:20 a.m. And it was the best moment of my life, hands down. It was beautiful, right? So we got our rainbow baby and it was amazing, and we were extremely happy and extremely blessed. We were not planning on having any more children, probably for the next 2 or 3 years. And I even said, hey God, if this is what's for me and this is the only blessing we're going to get, we'll be grateful, because we never thought that we'd actually come to that point of having a healthy baby girl or having a healthy baby, period, right? Well, about exactly 2 weeks before our daughter's first birthday, feeling kind of weird. What's going on here? Why my period hasn't showed up? What's going on? Hold on, let me see what's happening. I'm gonna just take a pregnancy test, just because. Just go ahead and do it. Who knows? It's probably gonna come back negative. Period probably gonna show up. It's fine, right? I can't be pregnant. My baby's not even 1 yet, right? Well, surprise, surprise. Shock of my life. I was pregnant again before my daughter was even 1. And I was scared. Under 2, I heard the horror stories. I was terrified and I cried for days because I felt like I didn't give my daughter a chance to be a baby. I was like, we waited so long for her and we've like robbed her of being a baby, you know. But after a while, I was just like, hey, you know, we waited so long to have children. If this is what God's plan is and he want to double us up within a year, hey, I'm for it. Thank you, God, for this blessing. We were trying to figure out how to rearrange her room, whether or not we could just go ahead and afford and get a house right now. Because we were going to have 2 under 2, and that's just what it was. And we were extremely excited, praying for a baby boy, but I would be perfectly fine with 2 girls. So, you know, we were excited. Fast forward, had baby girl's first birthday. Had to completely hide my pregnancy, even though I was miserable. I didn't tell anybody because, of course, with our previous loss, we were just scared, right? Did have a doctor's appointment. No ectopic pregnancy. Doctor was able to see the sac and everything, and everything looked healthy. Could not see the baby's heartbeat yet, which was normal because I was only about 5 to 6 weeks when I made the appointment. She told me she would just wanted to monitor me very closely because of previous issues, but so far so good. Great. This was on August the 11th. And then we went back about 2 weeks later. This was August the 26th. My doctor had to do an emergency C-section for someone else. And so me, Derek, and our daughter went to the doctor's office, and we had to see somebody else in her practice. They were like, oh, okay, well, I see your history and we just want to see if your levels have gone up, and right now you're approximately 8 weeks. You have a due date of April of 2020. We should be able to see the baby's heartbeat, but we just wanted to make sure. So we go in and he looks at the monitor and he asks me, how many weeks are you supposed to be? And I'm just like, about 8. But I've been here before, right? I looked at the ultrasound. The ultrasound does not look like what an 8-week ultrasound should look like. There is barely anything, on the screen. I can't see a sac. I can't see a little baby wiggling. I don't see a flicker of a heartbeat. I don't see any of that. And he looks at it and he says, I'm so sorry. This doesn't look like an 8-week fetus. You know, it actually looks smaller than the first time that you were here. And I said, okay. I said, we've been here before. We've been here twice before. It's okay. And I found myself comforting the doctor, and he was just like, you know, it's okay, you know. And I felt myself about to break down, and of course my daughter and my husband were in the room. So I asked my husband to take my daughter out of the room, and the doctor, of course, gave me my options. And being that I'd experienced them before, I opted to just have a D&C in order to I didn't want the anticipation of waiting for my body to naturally miscarry. The emotional pain of having a miscarriage is already too much. I didn't want to endure the physical pain. So I went ahead and scheduled the D&C for a couple of days later. And I had the procedure, and the difference this time was the doctor, my regular OB doctor, told me, you know, she's like, you had so many miscarriages and I just want to see what's going on. So she asked me if I wanted to allow them to test the tissue that was left over from the baby in order to see if it was genetic or exactly why this time this baby did not survive. Excuse me. And so I allowed her to do so, because at this point I'm angry. I just want answers. Why does my body keep failing me? Why are the babies that my husband and I create not surviving? Miscarriages for women of 1 in 4. Bruh, I'm 3 out of 4 of my babies did not make it. Something is not right. We wait a few weeks, and the genetic testing comes back, and it's been told that the baby had trisomy 16. And what that basically means is that you get and correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, you get one of each of your chromosomes from your parents, right? You get one, so that you end up with 2 of every chromosome. Well, unfortunately, this baby had 3 of the chromosome 16. And so that is something that's not compatible with life. And instead of the pregnancy continuing, nature happened, and basically the baby passed away. At that time, my body knew it wasn't compatible with life, and so unfortunately, that's what happened. And I did my research on it myself, and she explained to me that it's normal, that it happens, and that there's not a large chance of it happening again. But basically, there's no rhyme or reason as to why. There's never been anything consistent as to why I've had miscarriages, or why, my babies passed away. There's no, because every single time something happened, it was for a different reason. Ectopic pregnancy, trisomy 16, and we never got the first baby tested, so we don't know exactly what happened. Excuse me. There's no rhyme or reason, basically. And she said it happens more often than you think, but technically I'm still not considered high risk, even though I've lost 3 out of 4 babies. And that brings us to now. We have decided that we are ready to actively try again. Our daughter is 1. She will be 2 in August. So that means by the time that baby, it's weird saying baby number 2, because technically it would be baby number 5, but counting my living children, by the time baby number 2 arrives, she'll be, even if I got pregnant right now, she'd be almost 3. So hey, it still work out, which is good. We wanted our children to be somewhat close in age. 2 to 3 years apart is ideal for us. The thing is about this entire journey, though, is that this is it. I have had 4 pregnancies in 6 years. Physically, my body cannot take any more. I have 1 more in me. This is it. This is our last shot. This is the last time we're doing this. As a couple, we've discussed our options as far as stopping the process of me being able to get pregnant after this. It's not something I really want to go into detail about tubes being tied or vasectomies or anything like that, but it's been a personal decision that we have come to, a mutual decision that this is it. This is my last pregnancy. Not only physically can I not endure anymore, but emotionally, I don't have it in me. And pregnancy is extremely hard on my body. I had morning sickness the entire 9 months of having my child, having Mackenzie, my living child. And I just don't want to do it. No, I'm not interested in it anymore. I would hate the idea of my daughter being the only child. I would love more than anything else in this world to, give her a sibling, but I'm done. So this video was all to give you guys kind of like a recap on our journey as far as having children, and what happened. And if you want, I'll go into more details about each individual pregnancy and exactly what happened. But I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Anyway, we are starting the journey of trying to conceive baby number 2. And we will see what happens. I said I would vlog this, so I'm asking for you guys' prayers that we're able to actually conceive, because realistically, there's been about a 2-year gap between each pregnancy. I got pregnant in 13, 15, 17, 19. So might not get pregnant in 20, might be 21. I don't know. But we're putting our complete and utter trust and faith into God that things will work out, that we will be able to have a healthy, full-term pregnancy, boy or girl. We really don't care. We just feel like 1 more baby would completely complete our family. And yeah, so pray for us. We appreciate it. And I will make another video. Now, we won't start trying in April because that would result in a December baby. I was born 2 days before Christmas, plus Christmas. My husband was born in January. Like, that's a lot, right? So we don't try not to have a December or a January baby. Ideally February, March, April, May, June, any other time, just not holidays, right? So we will actively begin trying to conceive in May, and I will just be vlogging kind of like our journey, the things that we were trying, the testing of it, and I want to kind of give a glimpse into what it's like trying to conceive with fertility issues. And yeah, so I will probably do another video sometime next month. Probably gonna get some cheap pregnancy tests, some Geritol, some vitamins. I'm gonna be taking suggestions. Hey, we all in this journey together. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So appreciate you guys actually who watched this and who've gotten this far. And I will be posting another video soon. Love y'all. Bye.